Right, folks, question number 3. Now, as we mentioned before, question 3 is the one nationally that people do the worst at. Okay? There's a couple reasons why. The first one is it has a different style of writing that people often don't practice. They often get the style of writing wrong. They also have a habit of being very vague. So the two things you want to try and avoid, okay, so I'll put it up here. First of all is we have to have the right structure. It is a different structure, but also we have to try and focus our time on being very specific. Okay? We don't want to be vague. We don't want to be unstructured. Okay? Now the question says, as we mentioned in the strategy, how has the writer structured the text to interest you as a reader? Now the problem with the question is that it's very unclear. So you have to decide what about this makes it interesting. Now if you come back to your notes, hopefully you did this. So I've said the main effects of the extract entirely are tension, excitement and mystery. So those are the things that interest the reader. The writer has made it tense, they have made it exciting, they've made it mysterious. What's happening in it? Alice is on an expedition, searching for something, and she finds something that is amazing, but they don't tell us what it is. Okay? Now, when we write up this answer, we are focusing on the order of events. So we need to talk about different things that happen. The general rule is to do 3. Okay? Now, you could do 4. You could go the beginning, the middle, later and the end. But that's quite a lot to write. So the basic order is 3. What happens at the beginning? What happens in the middle? What happens at the end? And for each of those moments, what is the writer trying to achieve? How does the story change and develop? Okay. Now again, it's only worth 8 marks. So we do not want to write pages and pages and pages. So please follow with me. Again, 1 paragraph. Now if you want to, you can split it into short paragraphs, but it should be one thing. Okay? We're going to begin with an overall point. Okay? Overall point. The job of the overall point is to tell me what happens in the whole extract plus the effect. So throughout the whole extract, here is what's happening, and here is what the writer is trying to make the reader think or feel. Okay? That's one sentence. What you then want to do is you want to talk about your 3 moments. Okay, so we've got the beginning, we've got the middle, and we've got the end. Okay, now what you should have done in preparation for this is physically split the extract into different moments. So my first moment I'm going to do, I've drawn a line here, I've written on the right hand side, this is the setting, and I've said it's very beautiful but very dangerous. A lot of this is going to be repetition from question 2, which is fine. Okay. The middle part here, I've drawn a line here, so I'm showing the difference between the expedition group who have found nothing and Alice who has found something important. Then my end point is this kind of ominous prediction that the thing that she's found is going to change her life in some kind of ominous way. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to run through the same process 3 times. So for each moment, I want to say what's happening in that moment. Now here, be very, very specific. You are almost just telling me the story. What's happening? What's being described? And then what you want to do is give me 2 effects. So how does that moment, what is the writer trying to make the reader think or feel in that moment? Okay, how does it make me think about what's happening? What's the effect it's trying to achieve? Okay. Now with quoting, what my advice is that when you're describing what's happening, you want to embed short quotes, like we did with question 2, right? Just to show that you're picking out bits. So it might be they are on a mountain when she sees something glistening. Okay? What we don't want to do, and the biggest error here, is we don't want to use the language structure. We don't want to be analysing quotes, because the question is structure. Okay? Structure is the order that things happen. So, overall point, what's happening in the overall extract, what's the effect? In the beginning, what's happening, what's the effect? In the middle, what's happening, what's the effect? At the end, what's happening and what's the effect? When it's finished, it should probably be, I don't know, 7-8 sentences long. Okay, but again, you only have 8 to 10 minutes. So like the previous one, I'm going to put 8 to 10 minutes, and you have to know what you can do in that time. Okay, if you can't do all of that in 8 to 10 minutes, you have to reduce the detail. Maybe you just do one effect. Okay, right.